What's up, nerds? Welcome back for another episode.
We're your hosts this week. I'm Chad.
I'm Jake, and this week we're going to be diving into the Godzilla vs. Kong and also the Zack Snyder Justice League Snyder Cut.
As well as we're going to talk a little bit about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and we'll talk about our live stream that's coming up this Thursday, March 18th.
Before we do that, this week we are sponsored by Crybaby Craig's, the best damn hot sauce around. It is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that practically goes on anything.
And we're also sponsored this week by Ray's Energy Drinks. Seriously, the best energy drinks that are on the market right now. There's 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 crash, phenomenal flavors. Just incredible.
So let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd Podcast.
Nerd. All right, guys, welcome back to the All Things Nerd Podcast. We're so glad to have you here this week. Like we're talking about, we're going to start off by talking a little bit about Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah. So we both, in preparation for this, we both kind of watched the 3 previous movies leading up to this, which is Godzilla, and then Kong Skull Island, and then Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yeah, and guys, these films are awesome.
They're awesome.
They're not only are they nostalgic, they do ring true to some of the old school Kong or Godzilla films, but they're also just really well done.
Yeah, and Godzilla finally looks like Godzilla again, because even though I enjoyed as a kid watching the old one with Matthew Broderick back in like 1999 or 2000 or whatever.
Yeah, late 90s. It was a great movie.
It was cool, but they basically just made Godzilla was a giant iguana that got like
he
fucked up from...
He was half iguana, half T-Rex. He just had arms.
Yeah, it was dumb. So,
looking back on it, it was dumb. Back then, it was pretty dope.
Yeah, it was dope back then. This one is awesome. Definitely true to the nature. Godzilla and then Kong Skull Island. Awesome. We get to meet Kong for the first time in,
and it takes place back in the 70s. The Kong Skull Island takes place during the Vietnamese conflict.
Yep.
A lot of fun. Basically, they try to breach the Skull Island, which is haven't really.
They kind of hint that it's the Bermuda Triangle, the island in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's really not, because it's kind of in the Pacific.
Yeah.
So that doesn't work.
It's fun,
but it's one of those things where basically in the movie, anything that goes in there never comes out.
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out what's going on the island. They bring in the military to basically protect the scientists, and it's a lot of fun. You get to see, at that point in time, they say that Kong is still growing, but we still see him. He's like 200 feet tall.
Yeah, he's like an infant at the time.
Yeah, but they even mentioned in that film that he's still growing. He's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But it's a lot of fun. We get a lot of Marvel faces in those films too.
Yeah,
and across the Godzilla films too.
Should we start in the first one? I think we mentioned this. We already mentioned this once. But Elizabeth Olsen, as we now know as Scarlet Witch, and Aaron Taylor Johnson, as we know as Quicksilver, who are brother and sister in Marvel, are now husband and wife. Cue the Pornhub music.
What are you doing, twin bro?
Yeah.
We've already made the joke. We're not going to do it again.
Yeah, we just did, but...
Well, we're not going to do the full bit.
And, so they play brother and sister in Marvel, but now they're married in this movie, which is hilarious.
But they really have great chemistry on screen. So, it makes sense.
Siblings always have good chemistry.
Well, yeah, and lovers.
And then in Kong Skull Island, which is the second installment to the franchise.
Even though it acts kind of as a prequel.
It is a prequel, yeah.
It does take place before.
But it is the second movie in the franchise. But it is a prequel because it's in World War II, as where
World War II and the Vietnam War, or Vietnam conflict.
That's what I meant.
We never technically went to war. But, John C. Reilly's character is from World War II, so you weren't wrong.
Yeah.
But He was wrong.
Yeah.
I'm glad he admitted it on his own this time.
I didn't have to look it up this time.
But we get Samuel L. Jackson,
Brie Larson,
Tom Hiddleston.
John C. Reilly was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, John C. Reilly. Yeah, he was.
That's 4 Marvel characters there.
Yeah,
there might even be more.
There probably is that play like more like minor background roles, but they're definitely in it. It's fun because now we're getting actors and actresses that have worked together on previous films. Primarily, we're relating it to the MCU.
Chemistry, yeah. That was
but
kind
you
of
get
our
that chemistry,
goal.
so like their relationship building in these films are much more believable because they're comfortable.
Yeah. And then we get to the newest installment, which is the newest released installment, which is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. We don't have a ton of Marvel references in that movie. We do get Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones, which is kind of cool.
I can't remember his name in
real
life, but we also get Millie Bobby Brown.
Yep.
From Stranger Things.
Yep. Who is so far the only actor that is going to, that we know of, transfer over into the new movie.
The new movie,
which is Godzilla vs. Kong, which is
coming out at the end of the month.
31st.
Yeah.
End of the month. End of this month.
I think there's only 30 days in this month, but
30th. That's what I meant to say.
The last day of the month it comes out. That's all that really matters.
My cousin's birthday. Yeah, my cousin Martel's birthday. Yeah. I should know that. Sorry, dude. He's not listening to this, but if you are, I'm so sorry.
So that comes out at the end of the month. And it's
Godzilla versus
Kong.
And now Kong is all grown up. I said grown up on purpose.
Grown up, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've released like an official height for him, but he's
bigger. He's an adult now.
He's now close to like 400 feet. 400 or 500 feet.
Godzilla size.
Godzilla size, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're both considered, at least in this realm, titans.
Yeah.
Basically, they're in...
That's kind of what they touch on in the Godzilla King of Monsters, is that there is not only Godzilla or Kong as monsters, there's all of these other monsters, which if you've seen the Godzilla King of Monsters, there's King Ghidorah, there's Mothra, there's a ton of other ones.
King Ghidorah was more of an alien, as what they kind of concluded.
Yeah, but he was like the leader of the monsters. Yeah.
But because he wasn't an earthly being, he didn't have to obey all their same rules. Yeah. The way that he survived off of radiation was different. He basically just healed on his own through various energy sources, where all the other monsters that were earthbound beings,
the Titans.
The Titans.
I don't know why I air quoted that, because they are Titans.
They call them the Titans. Yeah. Some of you might, when you hear the word Titans, you either think of Clash of the Titans, which...
Remember the Titans,
left side, strong side, or Robin trying to be the new Batman and starting his own Justice League of pubescent hormones. So Titans means a lot of things. So that's kind of why we throw out air quotes. But with these Titans in the Godzilla or the Mega Monster Universe, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Cause
I think it's like Monsterverse or something like that. Or no, is that the... Never mind.
That's supposed to be like...
The Mummy and
Dracula and stuff like that. And that failed. So we could call it the Monsterverse.
No, they rebooted it with...
Yeah, but that... Tom Cruise killed it because...
Tom Cruise killed it, but then they rebooted it again with The Invisible Man with the chick from Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's not good. But that's what they rebooted it
So
with.
that Monsterverse is dead again.
I mean, they're running with it now, though.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll get into that someday.
Yeah.
But right now...
It's not going anywhere.
Right now, we have some theories about... Obviously, we haven't seen this movie yet. We have some theories going forward.
What's the biggest one?
The biggest one is that in the preview, they portray Godzilla as a bad guy, which we know from watching the movies. He's not a bad guy. He's just a big dumb monster who crushes buildings.
Well, he's the protector of Earth and the natural way.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he looks at human life as part of the natural way.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's a shit ton of collateral damage that he doesn't really care about, but he doesn't go out of his way to attack humans.
Same with Kong. So they're kind of the same in that aspect. In this preview, they do show that they portray Godzilla as the bad guy. He's killing people. They don't understand why. And there are some theories running around that Godzilla is Mechazilla, which is a huge bad guy from like the old school movies way back in the day. Mechazilla, if you don't know, is a giant robot version of Godzilla. And we get to this theory by two major points in the preview. Rewatch it if you didn't notice it. One is while they have Godzilla's anatomy pulled up on a screen of some sort, it's a robot. I mean, you can clearly see that it is not a flesh and blood
it's not organic.
diagram of Godzilla. Also, you see in a part in the preview where Godzilla is breaking through some buildings and kind of chasing some people. His flesh is kind of torn off, and you can see some shit underneath it.
But also on top of that, at the end of Godzilla King of the Monsters, it's an end credit scene where Tywin Lannister, he basically runs a... I don't
know what his name is. The guy who
I
plays.
feel so bad because he is a great actor, and I love him in everything that he does. He's also been in the Underworld franchise, the newer ones. Yeah. He plays such a fantastic, like, malevolent and benevolent villain.
What did he do at the end of Godzilla vs. Kong?
But so it's an end credit scene. He basically goes and collects one of the heads of King Ghidorah.
Which, if you haven't seen Godzilla King of the Monsters,
so good.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
King Ghidorah gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, but the head that they find of King Ghidorah is actually from like halfway through the film, where they think that they've killed him because they basically blow the humans in the military, blow King Ghidorah's head off.
One of its heads off.
Because he has 3 heads. He's a 3-headed dragon. Not unlike the Targaryen dragon.
Stop.
But blows its head off. And the locals in, I think it's Singapore, basically the closest country that has, sovereign nation that happened to where this battle took place. The head basically washes ashore, or they dig it up from the ocean's bottom, whatever it is. Doesn't really matter. But so they have the head of King Ghidorah, or one of the heads, and
they take.
Yeah, Tywin Lannister works for kind of like a monarch, but it's like a rogue version of monarch.
Yeah.
Which is the big company that's studying the Titans and everything like that.
Basically known about the Titans all along and have been trying to manipulate them.
Yeah, and he works for more of a kind of like a militia branch off, or like a militant rogue part of Monarch.
Yeah.
Where basically they just want to let the Titans loose,
battle it out,
to kill off so much of humanity, let life find its way.
Very Thanos.
It's
state of mind.
It's not good.
Yeah.
But with
reset the order, basically. Yeah.
Basically take
natural order.
Take humanity back so that nature can be more in balance. But they find the head, and it kind of hints that he has a diabolical plan for it, because they're a ghost squadron, basically.
Mechazilla.
And that's kind of where that comes to, is that his division of Monarch is what creates the Mechazilla to basically get the rest of the world on board to fight Godzilla and find a way to kill these things, or to at least have a scapegoat for his plan of killing a bunch of people so that the elite survive and humanity lives on with abundant resources.
So our running theory is that they're going to bring Mechazilla in. Mechazilla is going to kill a bunch of people, do all this bad shit. They're going to bring They're going to bring Kong in to fight Godzilla, and I guess Chad and I's, we could be terribly wrong, and this will be hilarious if we are, honestly.
We'll find out in a couple of weeks.
But I think
Stay tuned.
it'll be more of a team-up movie, I think, in the end of it, where Godzilla and Kong will team up against Mechazilla. And I think it's worth mentioning that if you know any of this, it's King Kong and Godzilla. Now, in the last movie, there was King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah got his ass whooped by Godzilla. And the name of that movie is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. So far, in all of these movies, Kong has only been called Kong. Now, normally, Kong is called King Kong. So, I think that King Kong is going to beat the shit out of Godzilla. And that's what's going to give him the title of King Kong, rather than just Kong. That's just a theory.
And it makes sense for the way that the films are going with their... I mean, let's be honest. Lazy name calling.
Yeah.
Oh, you're Kong, but now you're on top. King Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, you're no longer on top. King Godzilla.
King of the Hill, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what.
I sell propane and propane accessories.
Damn it, Bobby.
But when you were a kid, I meant that aspect of King of the Hill. You know? Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, it was whoever's on top at the moment who
is the King of the Hill.
Wears the moniker. I see where you're going with
I think everybody listening to this is probably too young to understand, but when we were kids, we played outside. And
especially Winter King of the Hill was the best.
Yeah. So you find a hill, you climb on top of it. Whoever's on top and can stay on top the longest is the King of the Hill. That means that anybody that tries to get on top of the hill, you beat the shit out of them and throw them off the hill. And as long as you stay on top, you're the King of the Hill. So, in reference to these movies, whoever is the top monster is...
Fun childhood we had.
Yeah, it was a good time.
How I don't have more permanent scars is beyond me.
Now my knees don't work, and it's a good time. But anyways, that's...
Developed scoliosis, whatever.
That's King Kong, Godzilla vs. Kong. I mean, we don't know much more about it than that, so I don't think we can...
Yeah.
Unless you have anything else you want to add to
No,
it.
I'm just excited to see it. I think it's going to be...
We'll review it after it comes out.
And we'll definitely talk about it after it comes out. Now, before we move on to our next segment, we do want to just quickly mention one of our sponsors. Which is Crybaby Craig's.
All right, guys. So, like we said, one of our sponsors this week is Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce. And keep listening, and we'll tell you a little more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today. All right, guys. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the newest TV show that's coming to Disney Plus from the MCU is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm so fucking excited for this show, man.
I mean, it comes out on Friday of this week.
Yeah, Friday of this week it comes out.
So we didn't have to wait very long between WandaVision and...
I mean, they gave us 2 weeks. Well, it'll be officially 2 weeks when it comes out from when WandaVision ended and this. And
it's going to be awesome.
So excited.
If you've seen the trailer for it, it looks awesome. It's, Bucky Barnes and Sam Wilson, a.k.a. the Winter Soldier and Falcon, who don't historically get along very well.
Absolutely not. And what's really great about this, though, is that when asked about it, Kevin Feige It's okay. You can have the hiccups.
I hiccuped. I'm sorry.
Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, when asked about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he basically told us it's 6 hours of a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Which means that there's going to be so
action,
much just packed into this show.
Yeah. And another good thing is, I don't, as far as I know, maybe I'm wrong about this, but they're not half-hour episodes like WandaVision.
No. From what I've heard, at least, is that they're going to be 45 minutes plus.
Yeah.
For each episode. Which will be yeah. Sorry guys. So, they're gonna be longer episodes. And they're just gonna be packed full of energy.
Yeah.
As well as their banter. I mean, you even get a hint of it with each episode. That it started in Civil War,
which is a little bit of a callback, because they do that again in Civil War, where he's like, you couldn't have done that from the beginning. This is referring to after Spider-Man kicked both their asses.
Yeah.
And he goes, and Sam uses his little Red Wing.
Red Wing is the drone.
To take Spider-Man out a window.
Which is a callback to the comics too, Red Wing, because in the comics, Red Wing is an actual Falcon.
Yeah.
But in the show they made it a drone, so it's a little bit more realistic. In the comics, Sam Wilson has a telekinetic relationship with this Falcon.
Yeah.
So they modernized it, is what they did.
Yeah. But so after Spider-Man beats them up in Civil War, and the drone takes Spider-Man out the window, Sam using the drone, Buck basically goes, you couldn't have done that from the beginning. And Sam goes, God, I hate you.
I hate you, man.
Which you see it again in the preview for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You see the same thing as they're fighting. A girl kicks Bucky off of the top of a truck or a train or something like that. And Sam goes, you let that little girl whoop your butt like that or something like that? And he goes, God, I hate you. So it's kind of funny.
And there's a part where, just in the trailer, where it looks like it's a mission brief. But it's also kind of like couples therapy.
The stare down.
At the same time, where they're like staring each other down, and the person that's briefing them is like, hey guys.
Yeah. Are you
guys having a staring contest?
One of you blink.
Yeah. What are you, children? And it's going to be fun.
Yeah. One thing that we have noticed a couple weeks ago, Chad and I, and we were talking about it, there is a part in the preview. It's very subtle, and you might not notice it right away. But if you go back and watch it, there is a small scene where they show a wall. It looks like it's in a nightclub or something like that. And it's very dark, but there's a bunch of decapitated Skrulls heads on the wall.
Yeah.
So we might get to see some sort of like Skrull hunting group, or maybe the group in the trailer where Sam is like, they're a bunch of hard hitters. Maybe that's what they're doing. Yeah, we don't really know the roles of these people yet, but
I can't remember what they're called in the comics, but they're led by Flag Breaker, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Basically a superhuman that is out to end superheroes for the most part, but they have superhuman abilities.
Yeah.
But in the trailer with all the Skrull heads, what's fun about that is it
keep going.
Let me rephrase that, because there's a bunch of heads of, as far as we know in the MCU, the Skrulls are not enemies. They are more or less allies. But it kind of hints at a future Marvel project, which is the Secret Wars.
Which we also see, and spoiler alert for the end of WandaVision, the Skrulls are involved there. We now get to see that the Skrulls are also involved in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, they were involved at the very end of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And of course, they're a
Captain Marvel.
Huge player in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So they're building up the Secret Wars, which, if you guys don't know, in the comics is basically the government finds out that there are Skrulls or shape-shifting aliens
Yep.
that have infiltrated Earth. But as far as we know so far, the Skrulls are not enemies. They could play it up if they end up being enemies, that there's like a rogue like battalion or squad of Skrulls. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to come with that, which is super exciting. And I'm just excited for the show. We get to see U.S. Agent, basically. I can't remember his name in the comics.
The government's response to the loss of Captain America.
Yeah, basically he's a soldier. He's well decorated. They give him some form of a super soldier serum.
Yeah.
So that he can replace Captain America, but he's still under the U.S. military.
Yeah.
So that they can control him.
Yeah. Because Captain America giving Sam Wilson his shield does not fit the government's idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their want,
no, that's not going to work for us.
Yeah.
We want this guy.
Which is super contradictory to the mantle of Captain America, because even though he's Captain America, he is more just about doing good for mankind, for humankind. And so U.S. Agent is basically just a ruthless special ops soldier that...
It's going to go bad.
Yeah,
he's not going to work out. We also get to see the return of Zemo, which they didn't really call him Zemo in Civil War, but Zemo is the guy from... What's the name of that city?
Sokovia. He was a Sokovian...
and his wife and kid got killed when they saved everybody in Age of Ultron.
He was the one behind Civil War.
Civil War. He's the one who set the whole thing up.
Not necessarily a super...
Well, he didn't set it up.
He's not a super villain, but he's a super manipulator.
He's a human that basically turned the Avengers against each other, which is awesome.
A little bit of a deviation from the comics.
Yeah.
Because I think in the comics it's Baron von Zemo.
No. We might get to hear that, though.
Well, his name is Helmut Zemo, so I doubt that he's going to change his name.
We do get to see his mask, though, for the first time.
They do show his comic-accurate mask, which is basically just a purple stocking cap with eyes cut out.
It's a ski mask.
Yeah. It's nothing special, but it's still, for fans of the comics like we are, it was a nice nod.
Yeah.
Especially with how WandaVision went. We got a lot more comic-accurate costumes.
We're also feeling, I think Chad and I are also feeling that we might get a team up here between Zemo and the good guys against Agent Fuckface. We're just going to keep nicknaming the bad guys. Tyler Hayward was a little bitch or asshole or whatever we called him.
Little bitch, director bitch, director fuckface. This guy's going to be
Fuckface.
Yeah, this will be a helmet fuckface.
No, not Zemo. The Cap guy.
U.S. fuckface.
U.S. Fuckface. I love it. Look forward to that.
It's kind of hinted just in the trailer. It could just be creative cut shots, but it shows Bucky with the chance to kill Zemo, and instead he just unloads his gun. So we don't know if that's just creative marketing.
I think...
Because Zemo was a major villain in the comics.
I think it'll be a play on Bucky now turning the tide of being an assassin to being himself again.
Yeah.
And...
showing mercy.
And a huge thing here, and this ties into what we're talking about, is the first episode of this Falcon and the Winter Soldier has been released, the name of it, and it's called Rest in Peace Cap. So we know Captain America is dead. Because he was an old man in Endgame, but now he is no longer alive. Yeah. So that might play into...
And they might just be burying him just for the sentiment also.
I think we're done with Cap.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they might not bury Old Man Cap. Old Man Cap may still be alive.
Yeah.
But as far as the general public knows, the battle that happened in New York during Endgame, Cap died.
Yeah. So that we might just see that Buck is no longer a brainwashed assassin, and now with the loss of his friend, his best friend, you get to see Buck's humanity show through a little bit in this series. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. But also, I want them to jack Bucky back up because
they downplayed him so hard after Civil War. It was so annoying. Oh, man.
Yeah.
He is the equivalent of Captain America. This guy has a super soldier serum and also has a fucking badass robotic arm, which got even upgraded while he was in Wakanda to an even better badass robotic arm.
Now it's vibranium. Now
he
it's
should be like he should be better than Captain America at this point. Yeah. And they basically just gave him a machine gun and were like, hey, go shoot shit during the next couple movies. And he's like, oh, okay. So hopefully we get to see that fucking amped back up.
Yeah, yes, boss.
Yes.
Okay. So we're hoping, and it looks like we are going to get a little bit more of...
And a haircut.
A haircut, a personality. We're just going to get more Bucky.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for.
Same. Especially for me, because I was a huge fan of Bucky Barnes when I was a kid in the comics. Because in the comics, the way that it goes is Bucky takes up the mantle of Captain America after Captain America dies. And he wears a black suit. Captain America suit. It looks almost exactly the same, but it's a black suit. And he takes up the mantle of Captain America, not Sam. Sam does take up the mantle of Captain America eventually, but not before Bucky. And you do get to see in the trailer Bucky throwing the shield around and catching it a couple times. Yeah. So hopefully...
but we also see Sam throwing it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like...
I'm okay with Sam being Captain America.
Oh, I would love to see that. But
they don't downplay Bucky. Come on.
Right.
Give us something.
But they're also hinting that it's going to be kind of like Team Captain America.
Yeah, yeah. They're kind of sharing the shield a little bit.
Yeah. Where, they really develop into like a partnership.
Which Bucky's good at that. He and Cap shared the shield when they beat the shit out of fucking Iron Man.
Yeah. Which it'll be great to see that because I love Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
I love him as Sam Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
But like seeing both of them throwing the shield and being a part of that, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I do know I read something that when the show starts, and I mean you can clearly see it in the previews, Sam and Buck are not friends in this show.
No.
They're obviously going to build that friendship as the show goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be fun.
They're reluctant partners.
Yeah.
There's even a TV spot that's just titled Coworkers.
Yeah.
Where it shows them kind of like butting heads, not communicating, and Bucky's like, we're not a team, and Sam's like, no. Partners? And Bucky's like, no. And then they're like, coworkers. Like, that's the extent of their relationship.
Yeah. Other part of the trailer. Oh, the Gandalf thing. We gotta talk about the Gandalf thing. Yeah.
And the big three.
Yeah. So the original big three in the movies has been Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America, who are two are gone, one's fat and out there with the Guardians. Yeah. So I think it was just a little bit of a cool callback for the preview. Yeah. But they mentioned the big three, but this time the big three is
androids, aliens, or wizards.
Yeah.
And Sam says it, and Bucky's like, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
And Sam's like, it's definitely a thing. And Bucky's like, there's no such thing as wizards. And Bucky's like, Doctor Strange.
And Sam, no, is it the other way around? One of them says, who says?
Or they're talking about wizards, and Bucky first, I guess, and depending on which clip you see online, the extended scene, Bucky's like, what, like Gandalf?
Yeah. No, it's the other way around. Sam says it to Buck, right?
Yeah, but Bucky says something about Gandalf because Sam's like, how do you know about Gandalf?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And
I read it.
Bucky's like, 1937. Gandalf, I read The Hobbit when it came out in 1937.
Yeah. And then Sam says something about, I don't remember, but
Sam basically makes some smart-ass remark about it, and Bucky's like, there's no such thing as wizards. And Sam's like, Doctor Strange.
He goes, he's a sorcerer.
And then Sam responds with going, a sorcerer is just a wizard without a hat.
I just made that up.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun action comedy. It's going to be your typical Marvel film for 6 hours.
Spread out over 6 weeks and 6 hours.
And then we get Loki right after that. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. I'm so excited for it.
And what else are we going to get before that ends?
That same week that Falcon and the Winter Soldier comes out, which is this week. It comes out on this Friday.
Which we'll be talking about next Sunday.
Yeah. But what comes out this Thursday, which probably means that you guys are going to get 2 episodes next week because
we'll split them up.
Too much shit to talk about.
Yeah.
But we get the Snyder Cut this week also.
Snyder Cut, Justice League. 4 hours of badassery that we deserved and never got.
That we've been waiting for years.
Yeah. And the initial...
Since I was a wee little lad.
Yeah. And the responses have been really good online. Like, the reviews and stuff have been really good. The people who have already seen it have been saying that they really want Zack Snyder to finish his dream for the Justice League, which was a 3 or 4 part movie, and Man of Steel 2. So hopefully something comes out of that because I love Zack Snyder, honestly.
And what he was doing with the DC universe was great.
Yeah.
It was darker. It was gritty.
Yeah.
Just like DC has been to Marvel. Marvel has always been the more family friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean it's bad.
No.
I love Marvel. Like,
they've been
hands
killing
down.
it movie wise, yeah.
Yeah. But DC has always been darker. Yeah. It's been a little bit more raw. It's been edgier. And Zack Snyder had a plan.
Mm.
And when he originally stepped down for family reasons from the original Justice League, that basically ended that vision.
Yeah.
And we're hoping that we're going to see that in the future. There's been a call for it from the people that have already seen the Snyder Cut. But push comes to shove. Man, we get 4 hours of what Zack Snyder wanted to show us.
And
years ago.
I mean, the original hashtag was release the Snyder Cut. Now there's a new hashtag, and I should have looked it up before we started this, and I feel like an asshole. We will find it, and I'll put it online or something like that. But there's a new hashtag out there for basically the fans now want Zack Snyder to finish his dream here with the DC stuff. So, and I'm really hoping that
so great.
Yeah, and if
I want it.
Yeah,
I want it.
I want it. Yeah.
I haven't even seen the Snyder Cut, but like
it's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be
so good.
At the very least, it's gonna be so much better than what we've had.
Yes, it can't be worse.
It could, but it's not. It's not Joe Schumacher doing it. We're not gonna get. We're not gonna get bat nipples. We're not gonna get an American Express endorsement.
Batman and Nikes.
Yeah. Oh my god, but we're gonna get what we wanted.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be fantastic. So next on Thursday, Jake and I we're gonna get together. We're gonna watch it on Thursday evening. Enjoy some good local cuisine.
Yeah.
I think we decided on Indian food.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some.
Not because I'm Indian. Watch yourselves.
He's brown.
I am Indian, but that's not why
he is Indian. But it just sounded good. Like we usually try and pick like a local restaurant to order food from before we do our various
anything
episodes.
that we do on here. Yeah.
Carbonis, Savoys. We've ordered all kinds of stuff. We've also just made food from with like local shit.
Yeah.
But we're gonna eat some Indian food. We're gonna watch Zack Snyder's dream come to life, and it's gonna be great.
And before we get into the Snyder Cut, we have some huge news. And I think before we tell you what the big news is, we should.
Well, let's hint at it.
Okay, go ahead.
So we're gonna do a live stream next
Yeah.
Thursday. For those of you, well, this comes out on Wednesday, so tomorrow night we are gonna be doing a live stream. It's gonna be to.
I was like, wait, what? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Wait.
For those of you that are listening to this at its launch, we record on Sundays.
Yeah, Sundays this comes
We
out
release on Wednesday mornings. But we are gonna.
I'm clearly with it here.
We're gonna live stream to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. We'll build from there as demand goes.
So
if
come
people
watch.
want to watch us live on different platforms, we'll eventually get there. But what's fun about this is, so for the live stream, we're gonna do a power hour.
If you don't know what a power hour is, we pick a cool soundtrack to listen to.
Yeah.
It's gonna play 60 different songs, one song for every minute in an hour.
We'll do it for an hour. You might not get 60 songs because most pop songs or whatever we choose are 2 to 3 minutes, whatever.
Well, yeah, you won't get the whole song. You get a minute of each song.
Oh, that's how we want to do. Okay,
that's how it works.
Okay,
that's how a power hour works. You pick a playlist.
I'm wrong. He's right. This is how we're gonna do it.
When you pick a playlist for a power hour, I'll teach you. After 1 minute, the song changes on its own. So that way you don't have to pay attention to a clock or anything like that. But you take a shot of beer. Get away. You take a shot. Fucker. Bit me anyway. That's all. You take a shot of beer every minute for 1 hour. So every time the song changes, you take a shot of beer. So we'll find a cool playlist, whether it's an emo playlist or a 90s or
90s, 2000s. We'll figure out something.
Yeah. And after the first episode, we'll take suggestions. What we really, really want is for you guys to come watch. You can play with us, do the power hour with us. We're gonna have Chad set it up. I don't know how to explain it. I'm gonna let him do that. But he set something up where you guys can message us on all 4 of those platforms, and we'll get it all on one screen, and we can talk to you guys. You can ask us questions. We're gonna get pretty drunk. That's kind of the whole theme here.
Yeah.
And
we're gonna be drinking throughout the entire thing. Send us comments, questions.
Make fun of us if you want to.
Try and stump us. Yeah.
Oh, try and stump us. That's good. Yeah.
But we're gonna. Yeah. The idea of the power hours. Every minute you take a drink, whether it's from your cocktail, your beer. We'll probably sprinkle in a few shots, but we do have to function the next day, so it's not going to be 60 shots because you'll fucking die.
We'll die. On camera.
Yeah. And
on live camera.
I don't want to do that. I don't know if my life insurance is still in effect. If it is, my mom will get a payday. You're welcome, Tracy. Sorry, Mom.
Tracy.
But we're going to, you take a drink every minute, change the song every minute
for 1 hour.
For 1 hour, we're just gonna hang out, answer questions, hang out with you guys, talk with you guys. But every 15 minutes, we're going to be doing giveaways. We'll throw out a trivia question, a question about the show. Yeah. So if you're watching and you're well, you don't have to be like drinking to participate, but as long as you're watching and hanging out with us, the first person that answers correctly and proves that they follow us. Yeah. So if you're watching, just be like, hey, this is my answer. I follow you on Facebook. Or this is my answer. I follow you on Instagram. If it's like Instagram or anything like that, do share your username, your tag, whatever it is, so that we can prove, I guess, that you do follow us. And the first person that answers correctly, that follows us, we're going to be doing giveaways.
We're going to give you some cool shit.
We're going to give you some stuff from us.
Yeah, you're going to get something. It'll be a surprise from us. We're not going to say what it is.
Yeah, we're not going to share exactly what it is.
We're also going to give you some stuff from our sponsors.
Yeah, so you're going to get...
some hot sauce, for sure.
Some hot sauce from Crybaby Craig's. And then you're also going to get some stuff from our second sponsor, which is Ray's Energy Drinks. Yeah. With that being said... we're going to tell you a little bit more about Ray's right now. So listen up so you know what you could possibly be getting for free from us just for hanging out. So we will do this. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with zero crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, and powered by their Refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
All right, so we're just gonna talk a little bit more about the live stream because we want you guys to come watch and play along with us. One of the things is, like we already mentioned, we want you guys to come watch, play along, do the power hour with us. Yeah. If you don't drink or don't want to drink, just ask us questions. Just tune in because we're gonna give you guys some cool shit and it'll be fun. We'll ask some trivia questions and
we'll be throwing out some trivia questions at least every 15 minutes. 15
minutes, yeah.
At the minimum. But with the live stream on top of that, we just want to get to know you guys. So if you listen and you want to say hi or want us to shout you out, just let us know.
Yeah. Give us some criticism.
We can definitely do that. Make fun of us as long as you're not too mean. Yeah. If you're too mean, we will just read your comment and then start to cry, and you'll know that was you.
But we won't call your name out.
No, we won't. But we will be streaming to our Facebook group, All Things Nerd Podcast, on Facebook, Instagram, at All Things Nerd Pod, YouTube, again, the All Things Nerd Podcast, and then also on Twitch, which is, again, the All Things Nerd Podcast. So if you're into any of those things, follow us, subscribe, watch us live on Thursday the 18th for our first live stream, and we're just going to be talking. We don't have a specific...
We're just going to power hour it, man. We're going to fucking drink. We're going to do the power hour. We're going to reply to your guys' comments and questions. We just, like Chad said, we want to get to know you guys. That's what we want to do. We have more followers than we ever anticipated we were going to have when we started this thing, and
we thought that
we don't know who all of you are.
We thought that this was going to be for us and our moms, because they want to support us, but it's grown so much more. So thank you, Mom, and also
Mom's friends.
If you're watching this, I'm sorry, Mom. But we want to hang out with you guys. We just want to give back also, because we have some awesome. We have some awesome sponsors.
Give it back.
Yeah, we give it back. But yeah, on the 18th we're gonna go live. We're gonna do a power hour live stream.
What are we doing? It's a power hour live stream. On when?
Thursday, March 18th.
Oh, that's right.
Of the year 2021.
That's this year.
AD.
Please come watch.
CE, if you don't want to subscribe to the Anglo-Saxon Christian beliefs of after death.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, and
Common era.
If you are friends with us and our Snapchats and stuff like that, Snapchat us while we're doing it too. I'll snap you guys back while we're doing it. It'll just be it's just gonna be for fun. This isn't like a business. We're just doing this for fun, so come fuck around with us.
The sponsors that we have right now, they have agreed to give our listeners discounts, but we don't make any money off of the podcast right now.
We've actually been putting our own money into it.
Yeah.
So the prizes and shit you guys are going to get, other than from our sponsors, because there's some other stuff that we put our money into, is going to be from us. So, yeah. So, only because we love.
Yeah, we love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this, for listening, for subscribing. Please do share this with other people, though, too, because, I mean, we enjoy this.
Even if you don't like us and you like energy drinks and hot sauce, follow along because you'll get some.
Yeah. Even if you don't like us, share and subscribe because you will get stuff. And if you like the content but you think that we're just jerk-offs, I get it. Yeah, I get it. But... yeah, we just wanted... this is what we do anyways. We talk about nerdy stuff. We like to share our nerd knowledge with our friends and our family, and we just decided to do a podcast. Yeah.
We also know that leading up to now, our episodes have been longer than we've wanted them to be. We notice we get a little carried away. Part of that is the amount of booze that we drink while we're doing this. So we apologize.
Sorry,
we are going to edit
liver.
We are, yes, pancreas as well. We are going to edit our episodes. We are going to episode our episodes down.
Edit our episodes down, yeah.
So there will be closer to 45 minutes to an hour, a little more realistic. So we apologize for the longer episodes that we have done. Even though we enjoyed them, we're sure a movie length podcast is not what you guys want.
Yeah, we're going to work on that. And we already are working on creating a better flow, especially with more interesting segments.
Yep.
That
sticking a little more to the point as well.
Yeah.
We noticed that in our past episodes, we've been breaking an entire episode down rather than just pointing out like key points and Easter eggs and stuff.
To the point where our episodes are longer than the episodes that we're breaking.
Because
down.
We just love this so much. That's why we did this. So
yeah, we're super passionate about it, but we get it, and we're sorry that it's.
We're sorry.
We're sorry.
We're sorry.
South Park, is that what you're referencing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
BP.
yeah.
We're sorry.
But with that being said, we're very aware that our past couple episodes have been really long, especially our last episode. So we are working on it. We're trying to reformat in a way that makes more sense, that gets more information across without being longer than what we're talking about. Yeah. But with that being said, we're going to close out this episode. We're super thankful for you guys, for listening, for subscribing.
Tune in every week, and please, for the love of God, tune in on Thursday. When? The 18th?
The March.
The March.
The March of 18th.
In
the
2021. Please come listen. It's going to be fun. We're going to give you guys some cool stuff.
Yeah.
We've said it 200 times, and we'll say it 200 more, but we're trying to keep this short. So we're going to cheers out, I think, unless you have anything else you want to add.
I don't think that there's anything else to say. Just check us out on the 18th, March the 18th, for our first live stream. And then, every Wednesday we have new episodes for you, and we're going to start providing more and more content, but we're going to break it down so it's
more digestible.
Yeah, that's the best way to phrase it, just so it's more digestible. With that being said, guys, thank you so much. We love you. This has been the All Things Nerd Podcast.